Hello, everyone. Today we have a very dear guest and the mayoral candidate of the Las Vegas and the former Congresswoman, Shelly Berkeley.
Hi,
Hey, how are
Sam.
you?
I'm
Hey,
fine,
how are
thank
you
you. It's
doing? Long
nice
time
to
no
see
see.
you. It's nice to
Thank you.
see
Nice to
you.
see you as well. So, welcome to the show and the podcast. Let's start with something. I know you are heading to other fundraising and also your places, other
I'm
or the
doing
charity.
a
Yes,
I'm doing
you
a
said.
ribbon cutting for Kindred Rehab Center.
Oh, okay.
I think it's very important. We don't have enough rehab facilities in Southern Nevada. So anything I can do to support this, I'm in favor of.
And that's one of the agendas that you're running on, actually.
Well, there's a lot
Or
of reasons to be running for mayor of Las Vegas. As you know, with my background and experience, I think I'm uniquely qualified for this job. Las Vegas is going to explode, in my opinion, in the next decade.
I agree.
We're going to see unprecedented growth, and I think it's important to make sure that growth is the success of Las Vegas is successful for everybody, because I think all of us can share in the success. So I'm excited about what's happening, but when it comes to issues, I've got a gaming background. Obviously, I know healthcare, I know education. I believe in economic growth and development and to attract new businesses to Las Vegas. I think in the next decade, for sure, we're going to get the A's, so we'll have a Major League Baseball team. Few years after that, I suspect we'll have a
Tropicana has started, yes?
yeah, that's what I understand.
Okay. For the baseball.
That'll be the baseball stadium. Isn't that
Okay,
just
that's
amazing?
amazing. It's
And then the NBA.
around the corner, actually.
It is.
Exactly.
It
it off,
is.
exactly on the strip.
When I was a kid growing up here, and I grew up in Las Vegas, went to John C. Fremont Junior High School, Valley High School. First person in my family to go to college at UNLV. I thought it was Harvard. It was so exciting to go to college. But if you would have told me when I was a kid that we would have major league sports teams in Las Vegas, that ice hockey would be the hottest thing, I would have told you were out of your mind. But now, I love the Golden Knights. I love the Raiders. It's exciting, and it's been great for our community.
Tell us about your plans for Las Vegas
Yes.
a little bit. We want to see that what do you want to do for Las Vegans?
Well, there are for Las Vegas.
Nevada.
They don't eat meat.
Not vegans, Las Vegas.
Las Vegans. Well, there's a number of things, and because I grew up here, I have a pretty good understanding of the community. This is a world-class city, and we need to be a world-class city. We have reached a level of maturity now that we can do just about anything we want, and we need to prepare ourselves not only for the 21st century but beyond. So there are issues that need to be addressed, and everybody knows them, and every major city has it. The issues that are pressing on people's minds are homelessness, affordable housing, and crime. But what I want to do is address those issues, and for me, they're all not only federal issues, state issues, county issues, city issues. We all need to be working together on behalf of the people of the state of Nevada.
And your experience as a congresswoman and the people you know, possibly it helps you more than anyone else.
I
in this
believe
field.
that
Do
it
you agree?
does. I could pick up the phone and call anybody, and they'll take my call. Anyone could call
How long
anyone.
have you been a congresswoman?
I was at 7 terms. I was
7
in Congress,
terms, yeah.
and then prior to that, of course, I was on the Board of Regents for our higher education system. And prior to that, I was a Nevada State Assemblywoman.
Wow.
So I've got experience in a lot of
And
levels.
you're a lawyer too.
I am an
Yes,
attorney.
an attorney.
I've made it a point to do the legal profession a favor and not practice.
Wow.
but
funny.
but I was a practicing attorney for many years, and yes, now I've done other things. But and this as an attorney, your background in being able to critically think and analyze different situations gives you a leg up when it comes to doing just about anything. And when I first went to law school, there were very few women in law school.
I remember the judge that I used to clerk here after the school, Judge Susan Scan was telling me.
I loved Susan
Yeah, you
Scan.
remember we met.
We
through
were very
Susan as
good
well.
friends.
And she passed away, unfortunately,
Yes.
the year after that I finished my clerkship.
Oh,
Actually.
wow.
But she was telling me at that time there was no women.
Yeah, we started.
Women in 1970s in Vegas being
correct.
a lawyer. It was a boys' club.
Most
being the
definitely.
lawyers.
When I got back from law school, there were just a handful of women practicing. And then right after, I graduated in 76. And so I took the bar in 77. And by that time, there were more women coming into Las Vegas and starting to practice. So we started the Southern Nevada Association of Women Attorneys.
Yeah,
Prior
I'm
to
a member by that. I was with Judge Susan Scan, Judge Sturman. I was
that's
attending
great.
a lot of them. Do you remember me? 2013 or 14, I was seeing you.
That is funny. Yeah.
I'm the only man member.
Well, how lucky
At
for
that
you. I know there were very few. It was for women attorneys so that we could work together, do things together, network. And of course, now, I mean, we started with a handful of women. Now, the last Southern Nevada Association of Women Attorneys event I went to, there were hundreds and hundreds of young women attorneys. It made
And
me
it was
very
a progress
proud.
that they opened up the law school. Their law school, Boyd, that I graduated from, but they opened up here. That was a big movement, and it's a big impact on the legal community here.
It surely was.
Yes.
When I was student,
You were part of the Regents as well during that time.
earlier than that, I
Yeah,
made
that-
the motion to bring the law school,
school
here.
to here,
But
okay.
20 years before that, I was student body president of UNLV.
UNLV.
I was on. They put me on the committee to determine if it was feasible to bring a law school to UNLV, and I was on the committee, but then I graduated, went to law school, came back, started practicing, and then was appointed to the Board of Regents because there was a vacancy. When they appointed me to the Board of Regents, they put me on the same committee that I was on 20 years earlier. Nothing had been done. And so I said, you know
It was
what?
stalled
Yeah,
completely.
I'm not leaving the Board of Regents until we have a law school. So I worked very, very hard and worked with the financing and the Jim Rogers was instrumental. The Boyd group, Bill
family, yeah.
Boyd was remarkable, and they created a law school.
It's one of the good law school in the nation. It's
20
ranked,
years.
Yeah.
My son Max graduated
Yes,
from the
from
Boyd
Boyd,
School of
yeah,
Law, and
exactly.
he's with the Public Defender's Office. And without that local law school, it would have been very difficult for so many people to become attorneys. So I'm very
to be
proud of
independent
that.
from the California law schools and other
Exactly.
stuff. What's your plan about the homelessness, not to fall the same trap or the rat race like California? Because that's my concern. My office is downtown. We have events and everything around the office, but homelessness is an issue right now in
It is a
downtown here, but it's
huge-
less than California because I have an office in California.
we don't
as
want
well,
it
but
to
over
become
Yeah,
California.
Exactly. What's your plan is going to be about the homelessness?
It's multifaceted, obviously, and I'm very happy that the legislature appropriated $100 million with the understanding that the public sector would match the $100 million. So there's going to be $200 million as good seed money to do
Is it federally or is it state? Is it a state allocation? Okay.
State. Now, there's a lot of issues here that play into this. Number one, about 30% of the veterans or the homeless are veterans. So that
In Vegas.
Throughout the country.
Oh, okay.
And so between 30 and 40% of homeless people are veterans, which indicates to me that this nation doesn't do a very good job helping servicemen and women transition back after their service to our country. And so that's why this is a federal issue as well. And I think we should be working with our federal delegation to get necessary resources to
In
help.
California, they did something. I don't know what they did, but they were a big, huge camp next to the cemetery and the VA
Mm-hmm.
in West LA.
Well, we need to do
What?
wraparound services because this is look. There's a lot of mental health
Yes,
challenges,
I agree.
opioid addiction, and
Opioid
other
addiction is the most.
addictions as well. And before you give someone a place to live, before you can give them job
You
training,
have to
you
fix that
need
problem
you need
first.
to make sure that their mental health they're in a position that they can actually take job
Nevada
training.
or Las Vegas overall, does it have any governmentally funded mental institutes?
That, interesting you should say that. I'm good friends over multiple years with the woman that runs the rescue mission downtown. And she and I were having breakfast. And I said to her, I said, Heather, if I could wave a magic wand, what do you need to help solve this problem? Because she deals with it on a daily basis. That's her job. And she told me the city of Las Vegas has to build a mental health facility until we can get the people that are living on the streets in a good place with their heads. Nothing else is going to
That's
help.
on your agenda or not as
Oh,
of now?
absolutely. It's pivotal. Look,
If I'm not wrong, Reagan took away all those things. Yes, at
they
that
closed the
time they
mental
closed all the mental institutions
institutions.
funded by the
Yes,
government, and the
yes.
homelessness became a problem at that time.
That you are. I didn't think you were
No,
old
it was a
enough to
problem, but
remember
it
that.
was, yeah. But I read news, I read the history, and I'm interested in everything.
That
So
happens to be absolutely correct. Look,
I didn't want to misinform anyone. I wasn't wondering that
no,
when
that
it
is
started.
correct. That is correct. But I mean, we're past that blame
Yeah, of
game. What
course.
we need to do is address the issues. Look, this is a tourism town. You can't have
those
tourists
people.
and or business people having their clients and their customers walking over homeless people in order to have customers come into their stores or their hotels or their law offices. But on the and in addition to that, there's a humanitarian component. We simply must help as many people as we can. We're not going to get everybody off the street, but there's a lot, and this is increasing too. And this has to do with affordable housing, which is another issue that is,
And it's
right.
getting worse based on what I'm seeing as the tenants and the rents are going up because of the population and the demand coming and the population is increasing.
That's exactly right. And there's, we don't have enough housing when there's a shortage of housing, supply and demand. The price of the apartment, the condo, the house goes up. So we need more building of affordable housing. And so many families like mine. I mean, my father was a waiter when I was growing up. We never had a lot of money, but our first home was a party home, PARDE, party home, not a party home.
But not the party home. It's Vegas, but not that party.
Yeah, not that type of
Vegas
party. Right? No, no, no. A party home. It was a cinder block homes near Eastern Avenue, and of course, I was able to walk to Valley High
Yeah,
School.
Valley High School.
But I remember it cost my father $33,000, but it meant all the world to us. All of a sudden, we were homeowners. We had stakes in the community. We belonged here. I want to make
Sense of
sure.
ownership.
I want to make sure that people that are here now, both moving here and living here and raising their families, have the same opportunities that my family had when we were here.
Another issue that it's my concern as well, and I talk to my friends, is a series of the crimes that is happening in California and the no enforcement of law, and how you are going to prevent that. Because I heard there are some criminals that coming to Las Vegas or try to do it, but we have a better law enforcement definitely here as a Metro and the Henderson and North Las Vegas PD state troopers. They are much more stricter than California, definitely in enforcing and apprehending the criminals. Definitely. But
I am a big fan of our new sheriff. I recently met with him and his team so that they could walk me through what's happening in Las Vegas. Crime is actually down in our city. Carjackings are up, but crime is down, and crime in general is down. And I think that is a good place
other
for us
than the
to be.
carjacking on the Kia and the Hyundai, that is on the TikTok. Because I was at the sheriff honoring the one of those gala I was at, and she said all the carjackings are down, other than the crimes is down, but the carjacking is high because
Yes.
there are a lot of people trying to carjack the Hyundai based on the TikTok video or something.
Yes,
That they are
that's
doing
right.
it. That's interesting that a TikTok
yes,
can
you're
create
right.
such a thing.
Isn't that
That,
something?
people that
I
just
know.
steal the car, they learn everything, and they go and commit a crime, and that's
Yeah,
it was
from what
amazing
I
for me when I heard it. I thought that he's joking at the beginning.
Yeah, no, no, that's for real because he told me the same thing. But I have great confidence in our sheriff's department in Metro, and I worked very closely with all of the entities when I was in Congress. Did a lot of ride-alongs, and it's also I think we have to understand. I'm a great believer in community policing and getting to know the community that you are policing, so that if there's a crisis of some kind, you can rely on the community and they're not afraid of you and fearful of you.
Fearful,
And
yeah.
I'm also very sensitive to what the police are going through, what the cops go through
Yeah,
on a
these
day-to-day
days it's hard.
basis. High stress
Yes.
job.
So tell me about any other platform that you're running on right now.
Well, I'm a great believer in economic growth and development, and I want to be in a position to. And I've been talking about this since I served in the Nevada State Assembly in the '80s. But I think its time has come also. As much as I love the gaming industry, and I really do, and it's the economic engine
That's
that
it.
drives this
Yes,
train,
exactly.
and a successful train it is. But I think we need to diversify our economy so we are not so reliant on one industry. And that's why for the last 10 years, I was a member of the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance Board. And the mission of the Economic Alliance was to attract new high-paying jobs to
Manufacturing job or the service job?
new jobs.
New jobs.
Yeah, new jobs, new companies come to Las Vegas, come to Southern Nevada, relocate here, create good paying jobs so that you have a strong middle class that, look, when I was growing up, on a waiter's salary, my dad made enough money to put a roof over our heads,
and
food
drive
on the table, clothes on our back, and 2 daughters through college and law school. Not bad on a waiter's salary. And again, I want to make sure that that exists, but it can't all be in the gaming industry.
Let me ask you a hypothetical. If one big company wants to come here and do business in the Southern California, bring jobs, like Tesla, that was negotiating with the different states to do it. We already have Tesla in up north.
In Northern
Okay,
Nevada.
but the Southern Nevada, possibly we can just get other companies to come in. If they come up with the proposals to the city of Las Vegas or the Clark County, how you can just make that happen by talking to the Clark County officials and the state and the governor that to make it happen? What's your capabilities in that capacity?
Sam, I think it's critical that we all work together to attract businesses. Other states do that.
Yes, exactly.
The legislature has appropriated funding for the Governor's Economic Development Council. Tom Burns, who I've known for many years, is the head of the Governor's Economic Council, and his job is to help promote business in the state of Nevada. And the other governmental agencies, we should be anxious to attract good paying jobs to our state. And they're coming. And the best thing we can do is to encourage it, bring them in. This town, I remember when my family first moved here, I was 12 years old. We drove down the Las Vegas Strip my first night. I thought I died and went to heaven. I never saw anything like that. I was from
All
upstate.
lights.
I was from upstate New York. I mean, a little sleepy, quiet town. And here we are driving down the Las Vegas Strip.
Flashy
Oh my God.
lights and
But I have to
bulbs.
tell you, Sam, here I am so many decades later. I drive down the Las Vegas Strip. I have the same reaction. I look from one hotel to the other hotel, think, how remarkable is this? And think of how many hundreds of thousands of families are getting their incomes derived from that industry. We need to expand it to other industries as well.
Thank you. Hopefully you get elected and let's see how it goes. Keep
Oh,
us
thank you,
posted.
Sam.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for
Good
having
to see
me.
you. And thank you very much.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Have a great day. Thank you.